the secret to Luton doing well this season is simple. Just start Nakamba. Welcome back to Where Hatters Walk. We're, of course, reviewing the whole game. We know it was ages ago and we know it's midweek games, but we are previewing, of course, the Christmas fixtures also. Who's out of contract in the summer is also on our discussion board for today, and it's the third round draw next week. So who do the Hatters want in that one? Let's grab a word, of course, with Mark and Sam. And, of course, thank you very much for all the subscribers we've got in the last couple of weeks. We love the love that you've been given Mark and Sam on the channel. We really appreciate it. If you haven't yet done so, you know what to do. Please subscribe and join the party. Right then, Mark, our Hull fans reckon they were the better team. Are they right?
I think it was two teams that were out of form and were lacking confidence. There were very few chances. I wouldn't say. Basically, I thought we were much better second half. They had a lot of possession and they didn't look like a team that was struggling first half. We got the Mark McGuinness goal, but I just think it was. There's supposed to be much complaints if it was a draw, but we're just grateful for the win. And I actually think the second half we probably shaded it.
Yeah, I really like Mark McGuinness as a player as well. So I was pleased that he got his goals. He had a terrible international week, of course, didn't he? But we won't need to go into that. Sam, what about Nakamba then? Because, this was just one of many tweets. When Nakamba starts, we win. Simple. Just how good of a player is he?
Well, he was pretty good in the game. I don't think he was extraordinary, but just him being in the team. And I think last few games we haven't really played him because he hasn't taken a while for him to get up to speed fitness-wise. But I think we saw how much it improves us against Hull when he's playing, as he's just a calming presence in front of the back three, and he's probably the only real proper defensive midfielder we have at the club, because I think Kraus is more attacking.
Yeah, come on to more of that in a minute. Mark, there are some other comments I want to just grab. Nick says, Hull's pretentious football allowed us to win that. Walsh looked good when he came on. We'll come back to you with that view in a minute. Philip says, we gritted out another 3 points, but getting the win is all that matters at the moment. And I suppose you're okay with that, aren't you? The wins are ugly, but who cares how they come at the moment? It's just getting the points on the board, isn't it?
Yeah, and I think anyone that's seen the form we're in and that saw the, I don't know what to call it, the Middlesbrough game, but we'll take any win. Anyone that thinks we're going to be playing fast, open, attacking, flowing football is that will come. I think if we get some wins and we build momentum and then the confidence will come back, then that's probably the time. But at the moment, it was definitely points over performance. And to be fair, like the defence, like having Burke back, I've always said he's our best defender and he is vital. If we keep him fit, we just look so much better with Reece Burke in the team.
Yeah. What about Walsh when he came on? Do you agree with Nick's comment there?
Yeah, I think the having the camp, like Sam says, having the Nakamba there. I thought Kraus was like man. I agreed with man of the match. He was just everywhere, and I think Walsh did influence the game, but not. He just played his part. I always think that substitutions are like partnerships. So whoever comes off, the person coming on has got to replicate what they've done, and he definitely played his part and helped. When you're 1-0 up, and then obviously the team chasing the game are going to force you back, and they did do that. They hit the post. Another wonder save from Kaminski, but it was just relief at the end that we held on for the 3 points. And then you look at the table, we're 16th. All of a sudden, everything looks a lot more rosier. Although we've got a run of tough games coming up.
Yes, Leeds, of course, away as we're probably even as we're putting this out there. Sam, can I ask you about Mengi? We've got a few comments on social media saying he's back to his best or looking like the player he was last season. What do What's your view on his performance?
Yeah, I thought he was quite good. I don't know if he's been as good as last season. I don't think he has at all, but he's still one of our best players. So I think, yeah, he was pretty good. And he had quite a tough job against Hull, and I thought he did all right because
Yeah.
he had Chong playing ahead of him as wing back, and Chong's not used to being in that position, so he had to cover a lot more. But I think as a pure defender, he's really solid.
Andy was really pleased. Not the best watch, but there was some fight and aggression in the performance, something that's been missing for large parts of the season. Mengi looked more like the player of last season, and Holmes just keeps getting better and better. Mark, could you agree with that part about Holmes?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I hadn't seen a lot of him when he joined because he was back at Reading last year, and then he didn't come into the fold until this year. And when you look at like Burke and Mengi and like the defenders we've got, I was sort of wondering how is he going to force his way into the team. But and then obviously we signed McGuinness, but he just looks like an old-fashioned centre half that will just put his body on the line. He'll just like battle, and he'll be there. So yeah, I mean, I've been pleasantly surprised by Holmes, and he's just he's great to have in there. I mean, Holmes and McGuinness were building a great partnership in the middle. Then you've got Burke, the best defender in the club, coming back. So yeah, it was it's looking a lot better. Obviously, Bell was injured in the warm up or close to the start of the game, which disjointed the lineup. But yeah, clean sheets, you love them, don't you?
Holmes reminds me a bit of
Absolutely.
Lockyer, I think, in type of defender he is. He's probably not as aggressive as Lockyer, but it's similar build, and yeah, he does have quite a good work rate.
Okay. Brilliant. We'll leave the whole game aside there. That's okay. And obviously look ahead now. First of all, 9 games, Mark, in 30 games, 30 days now for all the championship sides. First of all, do you have any sympathy for managers and players that moan about there's too much football at this time of year? I know we as fans love it, but do you have any sympathy when players come out and say that?
I do and I don't. I'm of that age where the pitches were heavier and you only had one sub, you didn't have 7 subs, and we always played the strongest team in the cup. There's no resting players. But then I do realise that you've got to manage the workload and the injuries, and we as a club have always struggled with the 3-game week, especially when it comes to the 3rd game. And I realise the game's a lot more faster paced these days than it was years ago. And so I suppose like I do and I don't. And like I said, we do struggle with the 3-game weeks, but at the end of the day, the EFL will say we're paying you millions of pounds, so get on with it.
Absolutely. All right, let's have a look then, shall we, at what is in store this Christmas for the Hatters. I would say this will have gone out before we talk about the Leeds game, so we'll talk about that next week. And then a big trip to Norwich, of course, this weekend as well. And after that, it doesn't look that bad, Sam, does it? Your Christmas fixtures?
Well, next 2 games are going to be quite tough. I think we might only get a point, if not 2 losses from those. But then then we have 3 easier games, I think. Swansea, Stoke. The thing is, this season we've been hopeless away. We haven't been great at home either, but at least we don't tend to lose as much at home, which is good. So it's obviously like that. Most teams are better at home than away, but it's been really extreme for us this season. We haven't put any good performance in away, I don't think.
Mark, our Derby County fans, when we spoke to them, were moaning about the way the fixtures are compiled this season because there is this oddity where you play Swansea twice in 3 weeks. Now, unfortunately for them, they've got Leeds as that fixture that way around. So they were saying, how can this happen? That, of course, I think you play Norwich, of course, twice in a month as well. I mean, do you have? Are they right to grumble about it and say it's unfair? Because or does it not give a team any advantage or disadvantage when you've got such, bizarreness of playing a team? You could play a team 5 months apart and 3 weeks apart.
Yeah, I see it as there's winners and losers. The fixtures come out, and like we had Middlesbrough on the Saturday, and then we were playing on the Wednesday night. Some would argue that if you play them twice in a short period, then you get it out of the way. Basically, I mean the fixtures, like we have both Sunderland games are midweek, so we've got to go to Sunderland on a Wednesday night as they had to come to us. So I think there's winners and losers, and I think as a fan you tend to remember the losing fixtures, like that are tough on you, and not necessarily if you've got favourable fixtures either after a like international break. So I think as fans, every club's got fixtures that they're not happy about, and we could say like Plymouth on a Friday night, Middlesbrough on a Saturday lunchtime. It's like we could say that they don't love us, but I don't think they love anyone. They just want to test fans' loyalty.
All right. Well, it's January transfer conversation time nearly, but with our starting base for that is, of course, looking at the players out of contract for you guys, because, of course, some conversations need to happen, and some of them might be getting some cheeky offers from elsewhere come this January if they've only got 6 months left on the contract. So let's have a quick look at the small list, shall we? Sam, if you were the owner of Luton Town, what conversations are you having with the three there, which are out of contract in June? Pelly, Victor, and James.
I'll be honest, I don't think I would be renewing any of them. I think probably just let them go. They're not key members of our squad, and we should look for new players coming in.
Okay, Mark.
If, as far as I'm concerned, if Tom Krause is going to sign the contract, I'm taking the pen. I'm driving over there and giving him the pen.
For Tom Krause, I would obviously try it for any deal for Tom Krause, but he's on loan, so he's not really out. I guess he is kind of out. Yeah, Krause really needs to come back, but I don't think that would be that easy.
I'll drive him to Gary Sweet's office. I'll give him the pen and I'll get him to sign a permanent contract. So there you go.
Okay, but Victor Moses doesn't get an extension for you, Mark, no?
Well, it's a short-term contract, and I think he'll be a good squad player, and I think he offers us something with his experience. I think, as with some people that left last season, it's more about they're not getting game time. Are they happy with that situation? I know Luke Berry wanted game time. That's why he left last year. Obviously, Pelly's a legend of the club, been there 10 years. And I suppose he's at that stage of his career. Does he want to play, or does he want to continue his legendary status at the club, basically?
Okay. All right, thank you very much for that. Lastly, this week, it is FA Cup draw this weekend coming up. So we're asking all our teams this week if you could arrange the draw yourselves and fix it for Luton to get any team away or at home. Who would it be, and for what reasons? Sam?
It's a tough question. I think any of the big six is always quite a fun day. So any of the Premier League big six, I'd say, or maybe MK Dons.
You played them last year, though, surely? Is it?
Yeah, but again, it would be nice.
Oh, right, okay.
MK Dons is another shout though, because we'd win that.
All right, Mark.
I don't want a Premier League side just because I've been there last year and I had to cycle there, so I definitely don't want to go back there. To me, I want Charlton. I want like the whole Luton reunion, the Luke Berry, the Nathan Jones, Dan Potts, Danny Hill. And I could go on for ages about how many of our ex-players I've got. So I want a reunion against Charlton.
There we go. Let's manifest that then. Luton, Charlton. Our Watford lads said they would like you.
I'm surprised after the bashing we gave them.
No. Right, okay. All right. Thank you very much, you two. I'm not sure you could care less too much about the FA Cup, could you? Is it just about staying in the league? Is that a priority, or are you going to be comfortably mid-table by then?
No, for me, I don't think we'll be in a relegation battle, and I would love a good cup run. I'm the old school that remembers going deep into the cup run, so I would absolutely love a good cup run.
Okay. All right. Let us know in the comments below what you think, and of course we'll see you on the other side of the Leeds game, and we'll catch up next week. Thank you very much. Enjoy your trip to Norwich, Mark.
And
it's
Leeds.
Not a nice journey.
Leeds.
Oh yeah, Leeds as well. Right, catch you both next week, and thank you very much for watching. See you then.
Thank you.
Thank you.